Hey everybody, welcome back to the shed. Max's Models After Hours. Somebody had a real great idea. I just was checking the emails and they were like, why not, he sent me a picture of his work area and said, why not have viewers send in pictures of their work areas. So I thought that's kind of a neat idea. I could either maybe go in the next video or the one after it. As long as I keep getting pictures, I'll probably keep putting together viewer videos. I want to thank some of you guys that took some of your models out of the shelves and got some nicer photos of them. So we'll probably see some of the stuff we saw last time, but more like close-ups and really good looks at them. And one of you sent me a picture of your shed, so I'll probably put that in with the workshop sheds if I get enough work area photos, you know, maybe. If not, I'll just tack it on. But that's kind of cool. I think we all have a natural curiosity about, you know, where the other guys work. And I was thinking, you know, some of you guys have got just completely mad skills, and I know this really isn't a build videos channel, but if you've taken some pictures while you're doing the work of, you know, how you do some of your detail work or something, you never know what little thing might be kind of cool to include in there. Because I mean, I have trouble drawing a straight line. I'll give you an example. I was working on the Stuka today, the little Academy 1/72 scale Stuka, and a funny little thing happened on the way to the paint shop. I'll put some pictures up when I'm done, but with my old eyes, there was no way I could tape off a canopy that tiny and keep it straight. And I thought about using decal striper, maybe even taking my black little decal stripes that I have and hitting them with some green paint and see if maybe they'd still lift off and I could lay them down. And I might, because this comes with two canopies. This comes with one sealed canopy and the canopy can open. And it's one of the first canopies where you can actually open the canopy and it pretty much sits on top. The one that slides back for the most part sits on top of the other one fairly well. When I'll see if I can stick a closer photograph in there. But that wasn't the funny part. I went ahead and just hand painted it with a fine tip brush, and with my eyes it looks fine, but I'm sure when I zoom on the cameras you're like, oh my God, learn to color between the lines, guy. But this is kind of a funny senior moment. So I put the dark green base coat on it, and I look at the instruction sheet and I tape everything off for the next coat, and I blast it and I peel it off and I look at it and it looks right, except that it's a mirror image. I got the colors mixed up. I had taped off the area I was supposed to be painting. So I thought about it as, you know what, no one cares. But no, I couldn't leave it at that. So I shot another dark green coat on it, and then marked everything up correctly, and now it has fairly decent little scheme on it. Not 100%, but close enough. And got the underside painted. So I mean, I still got a lot of touch-up work to do. And I used the old sheet since the wheels rotate. It was so hard to tape them off without making a mess that I just went ahead and spray painted it, and then when I was done I just rolled the wheels for the pre-painted plastic. I'll touch them up later. It's just me being lazy. Finally got to work on the jelly green, and I didn't have the exact correct colors, so I started mixing some, and I got, I guess, close enough for government work. But I kind of created my own paint scheme on it. It's not exactly like the box, the instructions. I couldn't resist. I was having so much fun with the spray gun. I just kept, let's do it this way. This thing's got to have 5 coats of paint on it. And most of them are acrylics, but the beige, the tan, is an enamel. And there's some blemishes and stuff on it, but I'm having fun with it. I'm not trying to win any awards with this. It's just, and that's the point, right? To have fun. So anyway, that'll look good on the shelf when I'm done. I think once I'm completely finished touching up the paint, I did put kind of a boo-boo right there. I just noticed that. When did that happen? Oh well. Well, you know, a little weathering. Cover that right up. That's what weathering's for, to cover up your mistakes. I think the next thing I'm going to do is probably put the glass in, and then once that's all done and in place and everything, then I'll stick the interior in. It's just the cockpit section goes up here, and a little piece right there for the rotor to sit in. And then I'll put the bottom on, take that off, and then shoot the bottom with the light gray. And so That's pretty much it. I finally got out here and got a little bit of work done. Just setting the pace and enjoy myself, not trying to make a job out of it. I still got the Brewster Buffalo, the Vostok, and the Saturn, and the instructions for the paper launch umbilical tower come with a computer disk. There's no printed instructions, so I think I'm going to have to probably take the paper thing inside and do it at my desk, because I don't have a computer out here. My iPad doesn't have a... Well, if it's just pages, I can just email them to myself. So I looked online. I thought for sure there'd be somebody who'd done this. I'd have a YouTube video, and I found a couple of little short videos of people's finished product or a couple of steps along the way, but I didn't see an actual build video, so okay. Wasn't until I saw the video last night that I need to apologize. Didn't realize I was slurping so loud. I tend to do that. My mom's probably rolling over in her grave. She always tried to break me that habit. Don't slurp. You gave birth to a slob, ma, face it. Andy, if you're out there, Mr. Yanchus, I believe I'm saying that right. I sent you a reply email. So I'd like to talk to you about mold making. I've had a lot of people ask about making molds. We know a lot of it's done 3D CAD stuff's done today. It's one reason they're so precise, but a lot of us have an interest in how they made the molds, you know, back in the day. And it's one thing to say, oh, well, they pantograph it down, but it's another thing to listen to somebody who's actually been involved in it. So hopefully I can get up with Andrew and we'll get some sort of something, maybe a Zoom session or a phone call or just chat with each other. I'm not going to write it up as like one of the videos, like the reports. My kid was asking me, he says, are you doing a podcast? And I told him when I showed him what I was doing, he goes, well, I said, because I didn't want to do it live, obviously. If you saw this morning's show, you'll know why. Okay. I'm not allowed to go there. So anyway, he said, no, actually a podcast is just like a radio broadcast. They usually just put up a still picture. So if you guys have any interest in that, I might put some somewhat more scripted stuff together and just do a podcast instead of me sitting here beaming my smiling face at you about specific, that would be like about specific subjects. And so maybe if I get enough information on the mold making and come up with some pictures, I'll do it more like a podcast, assuming this isn't a podcast. I don't know what this is. Vlogs, podcasts, coming up with 100 names, 100 ways to rename things. So, show you a little project. Oh, it's way back burner, but and booyah! Second time that RC Stuka Tails bit the dust. This is my Sterling SNJ or AT6. I believe it or not, despite being yellow, this is actually an AT6. It was from the markings from Spence Field in Moultrie, Georgia, and it had the little gears that you fold up in here, and when the propeller winds down, this little thing would slide down there, and then the gears would pop out. So you're supposed to go throw it, and as it prop them on, as it popped down. It was just a sales gimmick. And I tried covering it with the same stuff you cover RCs with, and obviously it just came out looking like, well, never mind that, that's where I peeled some of the skin, but it came out looking like crap. But I saw somebody that did this exact same kit and just made it, he covered it with kind of, I guess the kind of paper I covered the SPD with. And so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is strip this whole thing back down to the frame and just try to make a nice display model out of it. And he put a full interior in it. I mean, it was genuinely some beautiful work. If I can find that link, I'll attach it. But anyway, so that's one of many back burner projects. I did do a build video on this kit, the Sterling AT6, and of course I tried to use the original decals. Some of them adhered okay, and some of them were pretty far gone. But I think I ran into project fatigue. Once I started putting this stuff on and saw how it looked, I should have just stopped and done something, done something else. I used tape on the canopy, so it came out looking pretty good, best part of the build. But this is one of those embarrassing builds. It's, what did somebody call it? John, I think you said it's, oh, you had a name for something like where it's like it's fun, but you don't want anybody to see you doing it. You know? Oh gosh, complete brain fart. One tricycle, something where it's like it's fun to ride, but you don't want anybody to see you do it. Anyway, this is one of those builds that you're kind of like, yeah, it was fun, but you don't want anybody to see the outcome. So, anywho, it's raining here, as you may have gathered by the noise, but at least the temperature's nice. Well, that's pretty much all the news that is the news, or is the news, whatever they say in the media business, except this is all real. I guess that's all for tonight. Really not a whole lot going on. Painted an airplane backwards and went spray gun happy on my helicopter. So guys, we will talk to you guys next time. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you later. Ciao. Oh, saw that, huh? Hey, a plane even a buffalo could shoot down.
I was a little too stuffed, had to lose a few pounds. Pants too tight, seams busting out. Just had a big burrito with beans and rice, the salsa on top with some extra spice. Lots of extra spice. Out there in the bathroom when the air gets heavy, sat on a cold seat, thought I was ready. Working on crosswords and reading the news. Working on a bowel move. Trying to move some backed up drive-through food. Working on a bowel move. And it was taking time. I was up last night trying to make some thunder. How long would it take? I sat and wondered. Started reading a magazine from 1962, and I'm waiting on a bowel move. 'Cause I'm all bound up from cheese that's turned to glue, praying for a bowel move. Out of paper again. Bowel move. Ain't it funny how it takes so much time for a bowel move?